Hello there. It's quite late at night here. It's about 1:30. I had a funny comment to one of the videos which said, well, I could look it up, but it just said, as soon as I heard his, meaning me, as soon as I heard his soft voice and his his feminine style hair or feminine haircut, I knew what kind of video this would be. Don't you know? You don't know, and you don't know as much as consultants about helping babies, and which is obviously true. I don't. Yeah, I'm not claiming to, but obviously, I'd be mad. Anyway, I thought it was quite funny, the soft voice, feminine haircut sort of thing. Oh well. But the reason why I'm doing this one is that I put the deciphering video of the green note onto private temporarily, not because the main thrust of it, I haven't got any doubts about, or I don't feel any doubts about the main thrust about the ordering of the sections in terms of when they were written and what story that tells. And obviously starts off with Lucy Letby saying very clearly, I haven't done anything wrong. And as some other people have sort of messaged me and told me about, and I kind of knew a bit about it as well, that Lucy Letby is in a very anxious state at this point in time and has been under suspicion for quite a while, and quite possibly is having some kind of therapy for anxiety. I don't know if she was, or whether she had done historically. But people mention CBT techniques, cognitive behavioural therapy techniques, one of which is journaling and putting out your feelings, however contradictory they might appear, just emptying out in order to release tension and mitigate anxiety, and as some kind of safety valve, really. And moreover, that note wasn't meant to be for anyone else's eyes. It's not a letter to anyone. It's somebody spilling out words they would do in a private diary themselves, possibly with this extra therapeutic element, as in people do when they take a course of CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, and are advised to put their feelings down on paper, sometimes in a very splurging kind of way, or a mixture of like clear and then different emotions will come through as you're doing it. I think I've done that myself in the past. Anyway, the reason why I put it on private for now is to do with some of the actual words. I'm not 100% sure now, myself, having revisited it, that the phrase in the green note says "they went" as a colloquialism. It's hard to say that word. For "they said," I think it might be "they won't," and it's related to the idea that, will things ever be like they used, as in like they used to be, and then that phrase "they used," because it's occluded by the circle, the heavily written circle with hate in the centre. The "you" of it's not said. It's not "they said," "they went." I think that line is really belongs to the other sentence, I think, on reflection. That's my newer view of it, that will things ever be like they used? Most people say used to be, but it's truncated. will things ever be like they used? They won't. As opposed to what I was saying in that video, based on a deciphering of it, which I'm not in any way doubting the ordering of the sections and what that means, but also the primary thing is that within that alleged confession note is a very clear statement: I've done nothing wrong. You don't write a confession note saying you've done nothing wrong. And so there's so many ways to look at the emotional outpourings of those other phrases, and you don't necessarily have to give them a tag of reported speech saying they said I've done nothing wrong, they went, or they said I've done nothing wrong, or X person, a name of someone said this. She's in a state of great pressure and anxiety, and is importing these ideas. Oh, I've done this because they're telling me I've done this. That's the way I read it. So it's not hanging upon that small, what I might now consider as certainly an amendment of how I read that note. And I've got to say that there were a number of commenters that said that they read that as they won't, mean coming off the sentence prior to that, which is, how can things ever be like they used? Will there things ever be like they used to be? They won't. And some commenters had picked up that it wasn't they went, it was they won't. And it wasn't they said, it was like they used, but the you is occluded or written over, whatever the technical term is. So I wanted to say that because having looked at some of the responses to the video, it was niggling me a bit, and I've contacted Chris, and I've put my feelings across to him as well about those particular words. But overall, I think it's a great piece of work in terms of splitting up the different components of the text as you see them, showing different sort of emotional states essentially, or different modes as you go through it. I don't know if I need to say any more than that. But there's a lot more to come, and there's a lot more going on. I don't know if there's going to be a Zoom on Science on Trial tomorrow. I hope there is, and I hope to check in there and see what's going on. Thanks very much for all the comments and any, I'm not doing this to, I don't even need to say it, but I'm really glad for the engagement, because the drive here is the concern about a miscarriage of justice, and that a young woman, and Lucy was 25 she was 25, 2016, 7 years ago, so 26, when the nightmare first began for her. And I would like to reiterate that I believe, I'm not saying I know anything, I believe that she is innocent. And that's the thing going forward, so hopefully there will be an appeal soon. It has been said that the period to lodge an appeal ends on the 15th of September, but then someone else said that date can be extended. Under what circumstances, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, I'm just someone sitting in a kitchen. But I am reading a lot about things. There was a really good article on a website called Chimp Investor. I can't put links in the notes, but there's is a brilliant writer, and he's also involved in Science on Trial, but he has his own investments, principally to do with investments. He's a statistician, obviously, and in relation to investments, but also has been in relation to his concerns about the clustering of cases and challenging the idea that, you know, just because someone happens to be on duty when these things happen means it's that they're responsible for it. And it's just challenging this from a statistical point of view. But he's been writing some other really good articles, and the one that was published 7 hours ago, so yesterday, is called The Twilight Zone of the Lucy Letby Case. And you'll find that on www.chimpinvestor.com. As I say, and it's written by Peter Elston, and he is one of the main, heading up one of the main people at Science on Trial as well. It's a fantastic article which has a lot of amazing information in it, and really around a lot around the prosecution's principal expert witness, Dewey or Dowie Evans, and some history on him, which would make interesting reading. So I'll just say that title again: The Twilight Zone. That's the old show, as you know. Twilight Zone of the Lucy Letby Case, on chimpinvestor.com. That's all one word. So you would be able to find it if you followed that. I really recommend reading that. I mean, it's just, and there's a lot of sort of links within the article that I haven't followed them all up yet, but there's a lot in it, and it's very compelling reading, as all Peter's articles are. So thanks very much, and thanks for the comments, and take care, and all the best. Bye.